Imagine this. A father, shaken, broken, barely able to stand, has just identified the body of his only son. Overwhelmed, he collapses in tears at the Nairobi City Mortuary. That moment should be sacred. A moment of mourning, of grief, of silence. But for some, it's a moment of opportunity. While others weep, they calculate. While a father falls to the ground, they reach for what they can steal. No ounce of humanity, no trace of conscience, just pure evil. This is the story of a grieving father, his only son, and a stolen identity. Only on LifeLens TV. June 7th, 2025. Officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, travelled from Nairobi to Kakoth village in Kaspul Kabondo, Homa Bay County. Their mission: to arrest one man, Albert Ojwang. He was first taken to Mawengo Police Station, then transferred to Nairobi Central Police Station. Quietly following behind was Albert's father, Meshack Ojwang Opio, uncertain but determined. He arrived the next morning, June 8th. At 8 a.m., Meshack stepped into the Nairobi Central Police Station. He was told, "Your son is okay." But moments later, his world shattered. He was informed that Albert was dead. In disbelief and unbearable pain, Meshack walked to the Nairobi City Mortuary. There, he found his son's body, cold and lifeless. Just the day before, they had shared lunch together. And now, a body, a name tag, a silence too loud to bear. Overcome with grief, Meshack collapsed inside the mortuary. Strangers rushed to help him as his cries echoed through the tiled corridors. But as the father fell, something else fell too. And it wasn't just tears. A few minutes later, Meshack gathered himself and stepped outside to address the press. But mid-sentence, he paused. "I can't find my phone." The search began, especially around the area where he had collapsed. When dialed, the phone rang once, then fell silent. After about 30 minutes, it was found, lying near a bench within the mortuary compound. Meshack switched it back on. Then the calls began. The first was from a man named Charles, claiming he had been sent by Faustine Lukail, better known as Baba Talisha. Charles said Faustine wanted to meet Meshack in person. But Meshack, still in shock and drained, replied, "Say whatever it is on phone." Then came the proposal. They wanted to create a fundraising pay bill number using Meshack's identity. But there was a catch. They wanted access to the funds and 45% of all money raised. Meshack, confused and alarmed, told Charles he didn't understand what he was talking about. The conversation ended. At that moment, journalist and activist Hanifa Adan Farafi arrived and took Meshack to Chaka Place, an apartment complex along Kindaruma Road in Hurlingham. There, Hanifa, Meshack and family members created an official pay bill number, 46999944, registered under the name Albert Omondi Ojwang. The family were made joint signatories, but that was just the beginning. Later that same evening, another person arrived, Meshack Kiprono Biwot, widely known as Tumbili. He too requested to create a pay bill. But Meshack declined. "We've already created one."
I want to request him to Sisi. Kunitumia ile Mungu anapatia kwa neema yake.
That night, comedian Eric Omondi and his team, Sisi Kwa Sisi, also arrived. They created a separate pay bill number 247247. By the next day, confusion exploded online. Which pay bill was genuine? Donors were unsure where to send their contributions. Why was everyone so eager to open a pay bill account? Was it grief or greed?
ikiwa Wakenya.
Meanwhile, money started pouring into Meshack's personal M-Pesa number. It filled up quickly. The overflow spilled into M-Shwari, then into KCB M-Pesa, all full. If you did the math, it ran into millions, but as fast as the money came in, it vanished. The next morning, reports surfaced. Meshack's number was sending text messages to his saved contacts, asking them to send money to a new number, claiming the original one was full. In a panic, Meshack tried withdrawing funds to create space. But when he checked his account, M-Pesa, 0. M-Shwari, 0. KCB, M-Pesa, 0. Everything was gone. Only the funds in the official pay bill remained untouched because the fraudsters failed to access it.
I want to request him sisi kwa sisi tumtumie ile Mungu anapatia kwa namba yake.
It was only the money sent to Meshack's personal M-Pesa that was wiped clean. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we return to that moment at the Nairobi City Mortuary. The moment Meshack collapsed in grief. Do you remember what else fell that day? Because someone else remembers. They were watching. And they made their move. What happened at Nairobi City Mortuary wasn't just tragic. It was calculated, cold, ruthless. You see, the theft of Meshack Ojwang's phone wasn't just an act of opportunistic crime. It was a premeditated digital heist. The goal wasn't to sell the phone, it was to hijack Meshack's identity. Behind the scenes, elite fraudsters were already at work. They didn't perform a basic SIM swap. No, this was far more sophisticated. It was a rare and advanced technique called SIM splitting. In a normal SIM swap, the original SIM card loses signal. But in SIM splitting, both the original and the cloned SIM remain active, mirroring each other in real time. This is only possible through insider access to telecom infrastructure or high-level hacking expertise. That's exactly what they did to Meshack Ojwang. While Meshack was collapsing in grief as crowds gathered to lift him up, the criminals were lifting something else entirely. They pickpocketed his phone, and they stayed with it for 30 to 40 minutes, orchestrating evil schemes with it, while everyone else was desperately searching. Using the cloned SIM, they were able to intercept OTPs, one-time passwords, reset PINs, bypass two-factor authentication and access his M-Pesa account, his M-Shwari loan wallet, his KCB M-Pesa account. Then they waited, like vultures circling a wounded animal, as Kenyans poured in their support, sending funds to help a grieving father. The scammers were watching. And once the M-Pesa daily limit was reached, they wiped out everything. Every shilling sent to Meshack's personal number was withdrawn within seconds, and he never saw it coming. His pain became their opportunity, his tears, their jackpot. Later, Meshack Ojwang went to Safaricom. What they discovered was chilling. There were 2 twin SIM cards active under his number, both operating simultaneously. They were mirroring each other. Safaricom acted quickly, blocked the cloned SIM, and restored control back to Meshack. But it was already too late. The damage had been done. But that wasn't the end.
Has been sending messages soliciting for money.
These fraudsters didn't just stop at Meshack Ojwang, no. They wanted to fully exploit Albert Ojwang's death and turn it into a jackpot. While others were mourning, to them, it was a Christmas party. When Albert Ojwang died, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, stepped in to investigate, following mounting public pressure. One of the key suspects arrested,
The OCS.
Samson Talam, the Officer Commanding Station, OCS, at Nairobi Central Police Station. His phone was confiscated and handed over to
Share it openly now.
IPOA for forensic analysis. But then, the same thing happened again. While Talam's phone was still in IPOA custody, fraudsters cloned it using the same SIM-splitting method. Suddenly, text messages started going out to people in Talam's contact list. One of the messages read, "Hi, I'm Samson Tarlem's lawyer. I am operating with the OCS's full permission. He is requesting and appealing to well-wishers to contribute whatever they can to this pay bill account." They even included a bank account number. But among the people who received the message was Yusuf Hussein Al-Haji, a senior police officer working directly on Talam's case. Alarmed, he forwarded it to lawyer Dunstan Omari, who immediately flagged it in court. And then came the burning questions. "Your Honour," Omari said, "for a SIM card to be cloned, the original SIM must first be physically accessed. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority claims the phone has never left their custody. So, how did the fraudsters get to it? Who tampered with evidence? Who is leaking phones from IPOA custody?" The court was stunned. Some people had already sent money. Beatrice Cherop Kemutai sent 8,500 Kenya shillings, and many others sent what they could. But the fraudsters, they drained it all. The matter was handed over to the DCI, and to this day, the investigation continues. If the fraud ring behind Talem's cloned line is ever exposed, it could very well link back to the same syndicate that targeted Meshack Ojwang. Has anyone ever approached you and said, "Please help me. I just need to put my SIM card in your phone and make a quick call"? Did you give them your phone? If you did, you may have unknowingly opened a digital trapdoor. While their SIM card is inside your phone, they're not just making a call. They could be copying sensitive data directly from your device into their SIM card. Yes, that's right, reverse data transfer. They can extract your SIM card IMEI number, your SMS inbox and contact list, your frequently used USSD codes, your M-Pesa activity trail, your phone's unique digital footprint. And with that, they now have everything they need to clone your SIM, operate a parallel line, and infiltrate your digital life without ever stealing your phone. Never again. Here's what they can do in less than 30 seconds. Clone your SIM using advanced forensic tools, access your messages, call logs, and stored contacts. Copy your M-Pesa statements and loan data. Steal your OTPs and reset your passwords. Mirror your WhatsApp and Telegram chats. Track your financial behavior. Link your identity to fraudulent pay bill accounts. They don't care about your phone. They want your identity. And your identity, dear viewer, is far more valuable than any gadget. So next time someone says, "Let me just use your phone real quick," say no, politely but firmly. Because in this digital age, your data is your life. Protect it. And from all of us here at LifeLens TV, that's all we had for you today. This expose was sponsored by Hanifa Adan, and to her, we say thank you for amplifying truth. If this story shocked you, moved you, or opened your eyes, don't just scroll. Subscribe to LifeLens TV because we are your eyes when no one is watching. Like, share, and comment below. More updates are coming as this case unfolds, and we promise to be the first to bring you the truth. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and, as always, stay with LifeLens TV.